Hey everybody, this morning we're going to do a quick video. I want to explain how things work sometimes in the landscape business. We're having one of those seasons. We've had like 2 weeks now of rain, and when I say rain, like a lot of rain. It's actually, my schedule is just a big ball of crap right now. I got jobs going where I'm supposed to be doing loom work. My loom pile is probably mud right now. But my schedule is going to keep working backwards. The problem I have, and I want to explain this as part of business, I have some rental properties, camps that I do. I got one now I do everything on. It's 6 buildings. I do all the spring cleanup. I turn the water on. There'll be a video coming up. I also want to explain in this video that I'm having a heck of a time coming up with content. I've got like 3 or 4 videos started, but I got to have good weather to go finish the project. And I'm getting to the point now where one of the storefronts I do, this town has a town pride day. It's just like a farm day, basically. There's a car show, the fire trucks go down. It's like a little, I'm going to call it a farm day that they've had for years. But because of that, there's a store downtown for quite a few years now. I do everything I do the spring cleanup. There's normally trees to trim away from the back of the building. I striped the parking lot. We put in front, the curbs weren't working. There's a safety issue in the front of the building. A few years back, quite a few years ago now, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago maybe, I came up with the idea, instead of just having a curb there, we put those big galvanized pots that are like, they're 4 foot by 2 foot, and I want to say they're probably like 30 inches deep. We fill those with rocks. I put about a foot aluminum, and we plant them with flowers, and it's big enough so cars see them and stop. And there's a walkway in front of it where you go into that door of the store. And insurance company wise, we had to come up with something a few years back, so I came up with that idea. So I got to get those planted. I'm just explaining in this video. I got footage started everywhere, and I want to do this video to let people know I do have some content coming. But I'm also going to do a quick walk around this morning to show you how my day starts. Right now it's before 6 in the morning. I've got to go up. I loaded the 2 new, another thing I'm going to be doing is I loaded 2 new galvanized bins up this morning because 2 of them down at that store got so beat up because so many people hit them. It's kind of a funny, not funny thing, but we've actually had one person hit one of them, I want to say 3 years ago. She hit it hard enough, an older woman hit it with like a Toyota Corolla, I think it was. When it rolled it up, it lifted her car up and the wheels were off the ground. That's how, there's people that shouldn't be driving. But I got to replace 2 of them because they're just so beat up and there's some sharp edges on them. And they had me look at them this year, and I said, we'll get rid of 2 this year and probably 2 next year. It's not cheap. They're 150. I think the ones I bought down there are Tata ones, I believe. I can't remember. I used Tata is one of the brands that you can get at the hike hardware stores and Blue Seal Feeds. Then Tractor Supply has their brand, whatever it is. They're both decent. I've used both. But anyways, we're going to be going down this morning. I'm going to load up. I already got them loaded in the back of the truck. I'll show you in a video in a minute. There's one cement curb that's got beat up pretty bad over the winter. The plow guy must have hit it, so there's a piece of rebar sticking out. But this is another video. I'm just showing you how some days start for me. I got to go down there like in the next few minutes. You got to get down there well before 7, or it's going to be difficult parking and the traffic gets heavy. The store opens at 7. It's a store most employees come into now. I'll probably have employees showing up at 6:30, and where they're going to park is probably right where I need to work. But we're going to go down, switch the 2 bad bins out, put the other bins in place where the curbs would normally go. I normally plant them before we put them in place. That's something I'm going to say. I'm glad I didn't do the flowers yet, because yesterday we had downpours 3 different times that would have demolished a sensitive flower. And this is also on a drip line of that building. So between that and everything else, I think I would have lost all the flowers I brought down. Right now, when I walk by the greenhouse, I'll show you. We do a handful of flowers in my greenhouse. My greenhouse was basically a hobby / business thing. It does protect a lot of plants. Like right now, I've got a lot of flowers in there from 2 or 3 different places. I got to go to another greenhouse this afternoon. Again, I got them on rolling tables. During that downpour yesterday, it would have broke off a lot of the stuff on those flowers, so you can roll them in my greenhouse. It keeps them protected. So my greenhouse, I want to explain that in this video too. A lot of people think I'm doing. There are years, like we've had a couple years that we did a lot of flowers. I just don't find it's worth it. I can get a deal. No, I deal with enough greenhouses in different places. You can normally go and make a deal with them where you buy a pretty good, shipment of stuff, and they'll cut the price down. Where to me, it ain't worth having someone do flowers. So I'm not saying you're not going to see me do flowers, because every year my wife produces a certain amount. It's a hobby to her too. / if we make stuff, it sells. If we make pots up, I do a lot of flowers now too. I never used to. I used to stick with the shrubs. My daughter and wife would help me do the flowers that we did. Now I do an abundance of flowers. I've got the store downtown. I've got 5 or 6 camps that I do. Same thing, round galvanized pots in the walkways and do the flowers. I just want to explain in this video, this weather this year is really messing me up. So I got content coming. That's going to be work being done. I also started on the camp roads that I do. I'm glad same thing. This year the weather broke as far as the snow and the cold. So a lot of new people are moving in. Like even in my neighborhood, I do out here. A lot of new people moving out here that wanted that road smoothed right out, and I'm glad I didn't do it, because it would have been a waste of time. All I did was go out and put a Band-Aid on it, so that we had one section of road that really potholed this year, because it just stayed soft all winter. So I went out and did that. We had some boulders that were sticking up. I went to dig out, thinking they were going to be like basketball size, and some of them were like the size of a hood of a car. I got all that done. Again, that will be in a video coming up. But if this weather's got a break right now, they're saying it's going to be decent today, so I'm going to go out and try to get some. I got to go to 3 different jobs today, which I hate doing. But that's why I did this video. I just want to show how my day goes. And also, I'm at that point in my career, I don't want to be stressed out. I'm getting stressed out because the store I've always had done before that celebration day, and rental camps you want done before they rent, because when they rent, the cars are everywhere. You can't, it's just very difficult. And this year I took over the maintenance on 6 buildings where I turned them on, had to do some plumbing, change a couple hot water heaters. You'll see that in the video coming up again, I'm going to say. But when I took the property over, I decided to get rid of the grass. There's like little splotches of grass everywhere that are just difficult to maintain once it's rented. There's cars everywhere. And I said, I'll take the property, but we're getting rid of the grass. So the grass was on the edge of raised beds that we did 3 years ago probably. How I met this guy originally is it was a water leak. I had to go in and change a bunch of water lines, because these camps are from the 30s. And they got rebuilt in the 50s, but the water lines are everything. I think now they're all plastic, but the one I dug up was with the last galvanized pipe that was in the ground. But this property I'm talking about, you'll see that in the video coming up. It's just, I've been busy this year, and like yesterday, it was just a crappy, it would downpour where you couldn't even hardly drive in it, and then the sun would come out for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then it would downpour again. So what I did yesterday is I had some bark mulch deliveries. I had 4 cords of wood I had to deliver. Not that that should be the most important thing on my list, but it's just something. Wednesdays I normally take off. Yesterday my wife's like, listen, we'll take the day off, but it's crappy weather. We'll do some deliveries during our running around. So we did the 4 cords of wood, delivered some bark mulch stuff that we had to deliver. I do some deliveries. I don't want to say I'm stepping away from it, because I do a lot. But that's not my priority. My business, landscape business, is my priority. It's part of it, doing deliveries. But normally I wouldn't worry about delivering firewood if I had other work in front of me this week. But like she said, anything I can get off that list during this 2 weeks of rain, we're going to do. So today I'm just going to do the video. I'll walk up through, show you I already got the truck loaded yesterday. But this rain just makes everything I do very difficult. I want to explain that. So we'll get going on that, and I'll show you some of the projects we're going to be doing. I also want to show you in the background, the property I'm maintaining you'll see the screens that I made up over there. They're an oddball size screen. They're like 53 inches by 31 inches. They go to an old window that still has the wavy glass in it. No one makes storm windows anymore that keep them in stock, so I just end up making those up. You buy the kit. So when I say I don't say no to much, but it was easier for me to come home, make those screens up to bring to that job than try to find somebody, because it's another thing you're going to find in the landscape business in my area now. All these rental properties and camps that are on the lake, they want one guy that's just going to deal with everything they have. It's crazy. So you're almost like they're expecting you to find the subcontractor if there's like other stuff you don't handle. Again, I'm going to step away from that. I did it for years, but that can tie you up. That little sign that's over there in the backdrop, that's something that a guy did for me years ago. My wife found it the other day. I cleaned it up. Thought it'd be kind of cool to hang in here. That was on the road that I repaired, and I did a lot of work for free. Donated my time and equipment. So the guy had that sign made up. It's kind of cool. Now, that's proof that I do good deeds once in a while too. Lawns are going to grow. Once this rain stops, it's going to be crazy. I've also been dealing with my wood. But you'll see, greenhouse, I'm going to say that's probably a third of what I'm going to need. But we go somewhere and look around for, like, I had to buy some shrubs already. And I did a lot of shrubs this year too already. If we see flowers that look good, we grab them. Them are from a few different places, but like I said, we gotta, just to do this store, I gotta go probably get that again, and I got a bunch of planters to do. I've been doing the wood. We've delivered a lot. I got a guy that took 4 cords of green, which I don't like selling green wood, but I gotta bring a bunch more home. There's still some up on the hill, and I'm running out of room. I've already delivered a lot of my seasoned wood this year to customers. Started last year. I don't know what it was all about. I don't know if people got nervous about the election, but a lot of my deliveries called early. I don't normally deliver firewood until in the fall, early fall. People now, it's like money in the bank. I guess they want to get it and know they got it. Everything's like a bomb went off. I'm doing a job. One of them I'm starting. I'm probably going to be bringing home a bunch of crap that I got to screen and bring right back. But I'll show you these the tins. These are county lines, so I got to get these are Tractor Supply. But I fill them with stone, drill the bottom so that they'll hold some water, but not. When you put flowers, they'll chase a root will chase down to the water. But you can't have them so they fill up with water, then you'll get rot. I got to do one cement curb, and I had that used. Another story, we went all the way to a masonry place that I have that I always get my curbs from. They haven't made any. He said what we normally do is make 300 or 400 of them, then we don't make them again for 3 years, because it's like no one buys them for 2 years and someone will come in and buy them, and that's the case. And then I remembered there's 2 that are bad, one's real bad, so I'm going to use that. I called around, no one local's got them. I think it's a weird thing. Guy up in Conway said, oh, I might have them, I'll have to go out and look, and never called me back. Which that's a pretty good ride from here. But I just want to show, I'm going to fold the ramps up, get up on the roadside before I load my loader on, and we'll start our day. And another thing I'll say, I did have wood. Most of my trailers had wood on them yesterday too that had to get delivered. That was deliveries that were supposed to be done like a week ago, and I did. My wife, we handled that yesterday too in between the rain. Wasn't much of a day off, but I feel better about getting some stuff off my list. Another thing I got is I got 2 different developments that I do the camp roads on grading. Again, I'm glad I didn't do it yet, because it was a waste of time. It would have been just a waste of time with the heavy rains we've had. You loosen up a road and it rains within 2 or 3 days of that. I also put calcium down, which the rain we've had the last 2 weeks would have burnt the calcium right out. You don't want it to burn out real quick. You want it to kind of pull the moisture for a few weeks after you put it on. You'll see the video coming up. What I normally do is put the calcium down, rake it in with that, and then I put another coat of calcium on top. And the roads stay together pretty good for the summer. The dust stays down. All right, we'll get to it. I want to explain when you see that's why that's on my truck, and it goes on my truck. It's a nice little unit. I bought that used a few years back. It's a York rake, and a company, I think they used to call this one Sidewinder. You see a lot of towns have them. You fold that out, I believe it's 11.6 wide with that thing folded down. Does work good. I don't use it as much as I thought I would. Another thing I do with that, I'll explain a little. We're doing a short video this morning. If you got a lot of leaves on a area of road, you can go down through and get the leaves off, and you don't take a lot of material with it. So a lot of times I'll do a quick cleanup with that and leaf blow. And that's why it's on the truck right now, to be honest with you. I got a couple areas where in this development that I live in, I do, the leaves just blew down off the hill this spring, and they're literally like a foot thick, so I can push them up a road where I can pick them up with a loader. And you can use a tractor, but you end up getting a lot more dirt off the road. With this, you can kind of put the leaves in one spot. All right, we'll get to it. We're all loaded up, getting ready to head to that first job, and we'll go from there. I just want a quick mention too, I'm going to be doing another short on this Diamond C trailer. So far, that's worked out good. My son-in-law's used it a little bit, hauling my excavator. I've hauled my excavator a little bit with it. This loader is the first time it's been on it. But I'm going to come right out and say already, that's probably the best trailer I've had so far. That tracks down the road mint. It doesn't bounce. It doesn't, it just hauls good. We're at the store that I work on downtown, ripping out this curb that was bad. Of course, this is one that was put in with 3/4 inch rebar. I believe the guy, when he did the parking lot stripes, actually when they redid the hot top on this side, he put them in with that heavy stuff. I gotta see if I can get a chain and yank them out. I banged them around, I can't get them to come up off the ground. We'll find out in a minute. Chain. They both broke off, but it's pretty much was swampland before they put this store. That's why the parking lot got so messed up a few years back. I just want to show how beat up these are. I'm going to change 2 of them out this year. The one that's in front of my loader, when I unload it, I'll show you it's the biggest dent. And I'm going to retire that one way to the right. Those other 2 will have to do another year or 2 here. But that's how bad them get beat up. It's just crazy. Just want to show we got those beat up bins on the truck. We're done here for this morning. It took me about 2 hours. I changed the curb, changed 2 of the bins out, hauled the old ones off. There was a cement post out back protecting the generator. They were both laid forward. I had to put one back and concrete it, and then I just painted them red again. That's all I'm doing here for today. I may come back tonight if it stays dry, but I think it's supposed to rain again this afternoon. The stripes actually did better than they ever have, far as they're going to be easy to paint this year because you can still see the old ones. Most of the time this parking lot gets gunned right off over the summer. So we still got to come back, paint the lines, plant all the flowers in the planters. We got a bark mulch raised bed on the corner of the store, and then we got to do this little line of trees. And the parking lot used to be a pain in the butt. It was so bad that it used to have cavities. It would fill right up with the sand from winter sand. Right now it's a matter of you come in and blow it off before you do the lines. It's normally pretty good. But I just thought I'd take a shot where we're at. We're heading home and heading to the next job. I got to decide. I'm going to try to go to 3 places today. I may end up only going to 2, but I'm just trying to keep everybody happy. This is the time of year everybody's looking for their landscaper, wondering where the heck he is. But this is a pain in the butt. Once it gets busy, you can already see the trucks, delivery trucks are here. The parking lot's pretty full. When I do the stripes, I normally come down. I start right at 6 in the morning, but I just thought I'd take a shot where we're at. We'll go from there. Earlier in the video, I mentioned we might get a day of no rain, and it wasn't even early day. It started raining pretty good in the afternoon. Another reason I'm doing this short video, just explaining how it is sometimes in the landscape business. I've got to do a lot of stuff with loom. I got people that want me to do loom deliveries. Right now, unless I dig probably 6 or 8 feet into my pile, I'm going to have pretty muddy material. I don't know how many inches of rain we've got the last 2 weeks, but it's crazy. So here we are, I'm delivering some stone. This is going to a job site I'm working on. We did a complete, it's one of the videos that's going to be coming up, but I just figured I'd do another short video today showing some of the stuff we're doing. I gotta go drop this off, come back, grab my other truck and trailer to go back. My BX is still on this job site, but I'm trying to get some stone in place. So if we get, we're supposed to be, right now it's 101, and they said 3:30 we're supposed to be getting rain. It's gonna rain until probably about, I believe they said 1 to 3 o'clock tomorrow, and it's supposed to be like a couple inches of rain between now and tomorrow afternoon. So I don't dare leave. I dug out a bunch of, we're trying to grub out a bunch of the grass. You'll see in the video when it comes out. We're trying to get it. So they're all rental properties on the lakefront, and he doesn't want to have somebody going there with a weed whacker. There's no good grass. All it is little splotches of grass that are just a pain in the butt, put it bluntly. The gentleman that he had doing it would go in there and he'd wait till it got 6 or 8 inches tall, which doesn't look good to people that are renting, because they're big bucks for these renting, and it was kind of embarrassing to the owners. But the guy would go out and do it when it was 6 or 8 inches tall, cut it. It would create a weed issue in the gardens. So what I did is grubbed all the grass out, extended the gardens, just made everything raised beds. The only grass is going to be down near the main house. I'm going to call the homeowner right now, because this stone thing I'm doing is a little bit beyond what I gave him a price for. I just want to touch base with him, make sure we're on the same page. He's a guy that's pretty much, I've worked for him, I want to say 6-7 years now. If you see something, fix it. It's basically what he gives me the okay. But this, what I'm adding to this job right now, there's another camp too. He wants to get, there's one more camp that's got grass around it. It's just, when I say grass, it's just it's a rolling landscape crap show. The only way to mow it is with a weed whacker. You can't mow it with a lawnmower. It's just there's old stumps rotted out in it. So I'm going to see if I can do a 6x6 retaining wall, kind of just hide that, make it so that it's I don't think I'm going to plant much in it, because there's a septic tank. It's a pump up grinder tank, but I think it's like a 1,000-gallon tank that's sitting there. It's kind of like peeking through the top. I just kind of want to disguise that. It's also going to make it safer. Another thing this guy does with me, he says, you're walking around, you think something's a tripping hazard, try to fix it. If you think something needs a handrail, put a handrail on. So like I said, he's pretty good to me about, giving me the okay to go. But between doing a little retaining wall to disguise where that tank's sticking out of the ground and get rid of that rotted stump, it's also going to make a better parking area for whoever rents that one. Right now the hill kind of falls down into the driveway. But I just thought I'd take a shot. We're heading there right now. I'll take the camera and bounce around, show you what we're doing. Figured I'd put the camera on facing the road. I want to show the foliage is starting to, the leaves are starting to pop. We've got all this rain, plants are liking it. Other than the flowers, I don't dare do I got a bunch of flower work to do the next probably 10 days. I just don't dare do it, because we've been getting, yesterday when we got a downpour, I mean, it would have just ripped flowers apart. And I might have said that earlier in this video, but it's true. It's just crazy downpours we're getting. But I just thought I'd show it is starting to turn green in this part of New Hampshire, so that's cool. Hopefully, it's kind of weird too, because it's 48 degrees right now, but it feels like it's in the 30s. It's a cold little bit of a cold breeze, especially where I'm working on the lakefront. It's coming across the water. I know my furnace kicked on this morning at like 5, I don't know, a little before 5. It's raining today, like I said, but it's something you can work in. I'm pretty cold and raw right now, but you're not getting soaking wet. It's like a mist, and then it will rain like pretty good drops for like 5 minutes, and then it goes back to a mist. You can tell by looking at the windshield, there's like a real, but it's been doing that since I started this morning. I didn't get a good start today. I didn't get out and get on the road until probably 7. I tried to get up early and get things started, but I had a lot of stuff I had to put together for this job. We're doing everything from landscape, turning the camps on, fixing screens, fixing doorknobs. I don't know what I got myself into, but here we are. We're back on that job site. Like I said, we got to drop this stone off. I got that boat uncovered today. We got to put flowers in that. Again, I'm not doing it till this next rain, heavy rain goes through. This camp to the right is the one I got to try to talk him into doing that other work on. Other than that, we kind of edged down here and squared up the lawn so it'd just be easier to maintain. Alright, I gotta go take the top off. A rainy, crappy day. It's like a misty rain now. Off and on, it rains pretty hard. But they just wanted a couple plants put on that corner so when people walk up from the water, we basically made this bed a little bit bigger, got rid of the weed issue, and just there was a lot of overgrowth stuff. There was a couple shrubs in there I had to rip out. There was just no fixing them. Just squared up the turf today. I took the BX and I cut this out so that there's a square edge, so it will be a lot easier to maintain this grass. I would personally get rid of this, but they'd like to leave a little grass down here. I'm going to mow that so that the mess doesn't get, all thrown through the bark mulch. It's just been raining for 2 weeks, so there's not a lot you can do with the grass. That timber there we'll put back in here. I've just left that open because I've been getting the bark mulch. But I just want to show I took the BX and just squared that up. It will look a lot better. It will present a lot better when people are renting this. It's pretty big bucks to rent this one. That's a game room, pool table and stuff in there. But I'm grubbing out as much of the grass out of the driveway area and where parking is. And I'm just going to probably do a circle of mulch around that tree. And they put solar lights in there. So I'm just showing. I brought a load of stone in when I went home for lunch. I went home and grabbed the dump truck. But this will look a little bit nicer. I edged a little garden around that doorway of the game room. Just squaring things up makes it look a lot better. Trying to do what I can in this crappy weather. That's why I did this video. So, and we'll start doing the plantings. There's one more of those. Them are put there basically so when people come down here to turn around, they don't back in over there, and that's where the kids always are, is in that corner and down near the water. So they put those in there. Other than that, people just keep backing up. Once this is done, I got like 6 more plants, 6 more shrubs to put in, and I'm gonna probably call it a day. Show real quick too. Another reason we're doing that with the stone is I want that water to come out and go down between that set of steps, basically where the little pump house is down there. I put a French drain in, so right about where that little red rake is, all the water will absorb in there and go down right to the water's edge. But you get a pretty good rush of water down off this hot top. That's the bad point about hot top on a hill, is it sends the water. But it used to settle right there on that lawn and always be soft, so we're trying to build that up and force it to that area, which when I'm done, this will probably have 2 or 3 inches of stone on it too. I just wanted to get this done today so it didn't fill with water over the weekend. I was supposed to get some pretty heavy rains. Alright, just thought I'd take a shot where we're at, and then we'll probably turn the camera on when I do those last bushes. All right, I just want to show them with the last shrub that we're putting in. From that point back, I am going to weed paper the crap out of it because I think all that's going to be is a big mound of mulch, and we're going to put something in it. I don't know what, some type of decorative thing. I don't know if it'll be another bear, like there's a bear. There's a couple bears here, but they want to keep this as inexpensive as we can. I think it would look better with a bunch of shrubs in it and maybe something small, but I also understand where they're coming from too. Every year they try to add a little bit to this. So next year we can probably plug plant that if we want to. So we'll see what happens. I'm just taking a shot. I'm loaded up, ready to go. It's Friday afternoon. I'm gonna call it. So the radar. It's coming. The rain's getting heavier off and on. Right now is a mist, so I'm gonna try to take the advantage. I gotta bring in some mulch out, probably 2 buckets of mulch for that. A couple flowers going at. There's a sign that goes on that. I got the roads. I got this roadway in graded pretty good, so the water's running off. That was an issue, especially with the downpours we're having. I just want to show, I had a pile of like a dirty gravel that I do the raised beds with. Got a lot of organics in it. I brought some loam, so when I'm plug planting stuff, that's all the grass we've been digging out. But I just want to walk down through, show you where we're at this point. We're gonna probably plant that probably Monday or Tuesday. We'll put some flowers in that, some new bark mulch around it, cut that ornamental grass down. That's starting to take off at the bottom. If you look, all I do is square cut that real low, and that will take right off again. Everything in that boat's got to come out. New stuff's going in. We might extend that bark mulch a little bit. I don't know. We might wait. But you'll see here that I just careful how I did it, because that is a property line. I don't want neighbors thinking I'm dumping all the water off on them, but it comes down through now and goes into that stone and then goes down through a little bit slower. You can see there was a downpour here yesterday. This was about 2 inches of standing water. You got to do it, because if not, that bark mulch wouldn't even stay in these raised beds. Once we're done, I'll probably sprinkle a little bit of 3/4 road pack on and then put calcium. Again, we extended all these. We extended that raised bed to get rid of the grass. We extended the top. That was grass behind where the bear was. We actually just made it like a rolling landscape in there. I think that'll look pretty good. Added some plants that are going to be like zero maintenance for these guys. The back of that garden is just going to be mulch, but I'm going to weed paper the crap out of it. This is the project I'm waiting on an answer. There's a grinder tank. That's like a 1,000-gallon tank, I think. And all that does is grind the sewer up as it gets pumped up behind that house where there's commercial septic. So there's just a grinder pump in there, I believe. Still something you might want to clean out every few years. But I'm going to try to do some type of retaining wall here to get rid of that grass. Again, that's just miserable to deal with. That way I can grub out all the organics. And that may just be bark mulch when I'm done. We'll see, or stone on this end, just so they can have that grow up there like we have. I added a lot more plants to this, extended that down through. I also, a few years ago, we did that stone work down there to slow the water up, because it would just tear everything out in its path. A lot of water comes down off this hill when you get those downpours. I know this works, what I did, because it's already had a major water flow down through it. I ditched this a little bit, just enough to fill with stone so that it's not always dirty. Normally what happens, all the fines end up down here in the driveway. That used to settle on what I call the front lawn of the big house. Now I grubbed that out this morning. We put stone in. I got to bring some more stone in over the weekend. There's actually a catch basin in there. You can't see it. It's just barely covered with the stone. But there's a catch basin in there that will take probably a few thousand gallons before, but even that gets over. We get a downpour that gets overrun, it will go down through. I put a French drain in from there down past that little shed. Next week we plug planted that corner just enough so when people are walking up through, that's actually just part of the pump house that's underneath. Other than that, it's like a tiki hut, they call it. You sit in there out of the sun. Every year they try to add to it. That was part of this job. But I just want to show, this is the stuff we're trying to fit in during a rainy day. I edged everything in here. We'll take a rake and neaten it up a little bit more. It's just mucky right now. Everything's mud. Edged all the gardens. Extended that one out a little bit. But next week we'll be back. I got the screens all in. I got the screens in that little house. I got the screens fixed in this one. That staging I'm going to need down there because I'm going to finish vinyl siding that shed. But again, do what you can while Mother Nature's mad.